Hey guys, how's it going? This is Luke here, aka Shinobi from Next Level Gaming Guides, and I got a real special treat for you today, guys, for this Tuesday video of the week for Diablo 3. I've been messing around with Magic Find items. People have been skeptic on, it doesn't really help you that much, you don't really get that many good items, so I've been really building a set and trying to get pretty much the best items I possibly can. And let's head inside. I'm going to show you exactly what we're talking about here. And before we head inside, if you're going to do this as well, I would suggest on Inferno Act 1, go into the Cursed Hold. That's where you're going to start off from. So let's go in there right now. Now I already finished my farming session, and I'm going to show you that clip right after I explain some things to you. Let's go ahead and take a look at my magic find right now. Let's take a look at the details. So we go down to the very bottom. 280% magic find before any valor stacks, before even getting the fortune shrine or anything like that. After everything's all said and done with the fortune shrine and with the stacks of valor 75%, it puts me at 380 pretty much, because you get 25% from the shrine and 75% from the valor stacks, putting me at 380% magic find, which is pretty high in my opinion. And I'll go over some of the gear for you here and kind of explain exactly a little bit to help you out if you're building a magic find set as well. Now, the very first thing I want to show you the helm. The helm is one of the most important pieces, just because you can get so much magic find already on the item, and then you can put the gem in there as well. Um, Once I start spending a little bit more gold, you can see I have 400,000 gold. I have like nothing, just because I've spent so much gold in the past couple days building up this set here. Or this is almost maxed out here. This is pretty close. This is 40% right here, so it's pretty close to getting up there. Let's go look at the shoulders. Shoulders are okay. As you can see a pattern here, I'm mainly just trying to get dexterity, a little bit of survival, so some health. You can see I have 23,000 health, and the reason for that, that's not by mistake. I planned everything out here. With 23,000 health, the mobs in Act 1 will hit you for about 10k, just a regular trash mob if you're playing a demon hunter. So this enables me to survive 2 random hits, and you know what happens. There's like 100 mobs in front of you and all around you. Sometimes you get hit every once in a while, and maybe you don't have smoke screen up or something like that, or you don't have a slow up or anything like that, and you do get hit. So that enables you to give you a second or third chance of survival, which does help out quite a bit. So at the Now you're looking at that number right there, 20% magic find. And what does that mean? Well, 20% is the max you can get on shoulders. 20% is the max. You pretty much want to go for the max on every piece if you can. It does get very pricey though. So these were not bad. Pick those up for a decent price. Now, amulet is another one of those important things. It can go up to 40% for magic find, and that is the max you can go up to. I got 35% here, a decent amount of vitality, some physical resist, and some dexterity. So it's got a little bit of everything for me on here. This amulet I got for a pretty good price, I think like 800k or something like that. Not too bad. I am working in the future to upgrading to maxing out every single piece of gear and increasing damage at the same time, but that's going to be very pricey, and I'm hoping to find a lot of those items. But my gear is almost maxed out pretty much. You can see the gloves here. This was a steal. I got these for pretty cheap. I think 600,000, almost 200 dexterity, has vitality. The intellect gives me the resist all, which is great. I got a decent amount of resist all, plus the maxed out 20% magic find, so definitely a nice pickup. Now let's go to the chest. Now this is something I would like to improve on. However, it does have the max discipline, which is rare to find that with the magic find as well. 20% is your max again on the chest. 17% is not too bad because here I got dexterity and vitality there, so those go together pretty well. So definitely not a bad chest. Total I have 48 discipline. I'd say if you're doing this or even playing a demon hunter in general, 42 or higher is what you're shooting for. You do start off with 30, so your quiver and your chest piece are going to give you max discipline if you can get it on the item. Let's go to bracers now. Bracers not bad. Some physical resistance, 131 dex, which is a lot of dex considering it's 20% magic find, and I got these really cheap, like 300k, which was a huge steal in my opinion. So that's not too bad. Let's go to belt. We got another max out there, which is 20%. Then it's 94 dexterity, which is not too bad. I would hope for more dexterity there. Like I said, now that I've my main goal was to work on the magic find and try and get as much damage as I could. And now that I have a lot of magic find, now it's upgrading the damage. So now it's easy. I can go, okay, I have 20% magic find. Now the next items that I get, let's try and keep the same magic find but increase my damage, and that's going to come with a better weapon in the future too. We're on to rings. Now the max you can get on rings I believe is 18%. I have 16% on each of these. These rings aren't too bad. Almost 80 dexterity on this one here. Then on the other one we have a little bit lower dexterity, but there is vitality on there as well. I got these for not a bad price actually, and that gives you 218 life after each kill, which does help out when I'm mowing through a lot of mobs, and say I'm using my elemental arrow here and I'm mowing down a bunch of mobs. I get hit by a mob, but I kill 30 mobs. I heal myself back up to full. So it does help with saving money on some mythic potions and stuff like that. And we'll go to the pants now. These pants aren't too bad. They are maxed out once again, 20% magic find, and you see that I have dexterity and vitality on there. Just trying to keep with that rhythm. If I were to have attack speed, critical hit damage, critical chance, stuff like that, with this maxed out 20% magic find, you're looking at millions upon millions of gold for stuff like that. And we're moving on to the boots now. These are not too bad. I got these for a really good deal, and it's got a little bit of everything I need on there. It's got the strength, so I got a little bit of armor from the boots, decent amount of dexterity, got some vitality, and 18% magic find, which is great. Once again, 20% is your max out on there, but those are really expensive because when they accompany that with the 12% movement speed, you're looking at pretty expensive for boots to get all of the whole one all-in-one package type thing. Now I did get really lucky and I found these guys. I found this quiver here. Now it's got some vitality. I wish that was dexterity instead. At 15% attack speed is fast. Then it has 18% magic find, which is maxed out. I found this item. And to find a maxed out magic find item is really hard to come by. And it also has 10 maximum discipline. I got really lucky with finding this, so that was not too bad. And then for my weapon, just something that I picked up not too long ago. That's the next upgrade that I'm looking for. But it is pretty decent. I mean, 70% critical hit damage. It is a crossbow, so I can use the crossbow spec. Has some attack speed on there, so the attack speed is decent. I wish it was better, but I do some decent damage. I mean, on my regular damage gear, I do almost 150k damage. But this right here, you can see I do about 55,000, which is not too bad. Considering if you're going to do this too, I would shoot for at least 50,000 damage if you're going to have a lot of magic find. Just because the mobs in here, the trash mobs have between 30,000 to 60,000 health, so you can pretty much one-shot those with, like, say, your elemental arrow. When you line that up and just hit a bunch of them, you can pretty much one-shot slash two-shot those guys. It's really easy, and the bosses go down pretty quickly, as you're going to see in the upcoming minutes here. But I'm going to do a little bit of explaining on why Magic Find is good, why it's something that you should look into in the next part of the video, where I show you all the mobs that I'm killing and the routes that I take. And I actually find a lot of rares and a lot of blues and make a considerable amount of gold there. But you will see this is what I shot 2 hours ago, and it was an hour-long session. And what are we trying to do in this session? What are we trying to accomplish? Well, we're doing a 1 hour-long test just to see how well the drop rate is going to be with having this much magic find. Then also we're going to track how many packs we find, how many rares we get, how many blues we get. We're going to track the eye level of each item, and we're just going to see how everything works out. So like I said, guys, this is a Tuesday video, so enjoy the next part there. I'm going to do some talking and explain some stuff, and you can be entered in the contest. All you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe, and that's all you got to do. And you can be entered in the contest to win a Diablo 3 poster, or if you live in the US, what I'm going to do is take one of you guys on for a farming adventure for a couple hours. I'm going to farm with you in my Magic Find gear and try and help you get you some gear. I did it with some fans earlier, some viewers, and got them some pretty nice stuff. I gave them every single rare that I found, which I found like 50 something plus. But let's see how this goes, and thanks for watching, guys, and let's get to the next part. Here we go. Alright, and as we're farming there, I'm going to speed this up a little bit for you so that way the gameplay goes a lot faster. But You're probably thinking right now, Luke, why are we doing Act 1? What is so special about Act 1? Well, I did post this thing up there for you, showing the recent changes that Blizzard has made after patch 1.03, and then they also made another buff, which you're looking at right now, to some of the percentages on item drops. Now you can see in Act 1, you're looking at for eye level 61 items, you're looking now at 23.9%, up from 17.7%. And then 62 is 12.6, up from 7.9, and 63 is 4.8, up from 2.0. So definitely a nice increase there. Um, I did add them all up together for you to show you on the right there that 41% is you pretty much have a chance for an eye level 63 items, 41% for your chances right there. And then if you look at Act 3 and Act 4, which are really popular to farm as well, and I'm not telling you to not do Act 3 or Act 4, but if you are, in the sake of this video, where I only have 55,000 damage, but I have a lot of magic vine, it makes more sense for me to do Act 1 because I can really smoothly go through the whole act, and I can also get a lot of rares like you're about to see pretty much. Now Act 3 though, they did increase it by a lot there too, at 65% for eye level 61 or higher, and everybody's all about those eye level 63 items, I know that. And 16% is really high, which is like almost half of what you get for just eye level 61 or higher in Act 1. So keeping that in mind, Act 3 is definitely viable to do, and probably the next test I'm going to do is going to be Act 3 once I get this Magic Find gear higher up on damage, maybe upgrade a weapon, stuff like that. And then we'll do a test on that as well. Now they did also another change for bosses, where before you would get one rare for 5 stacks. But what they do now is you get one rare for 4 stacks, and you get 2 rares for 5 stacks of Valor on your whenever you go against a boss. And in this video we're going to go against 2. We're going to go against the Warden, and then we're also going to go against the Butcher. And you can just see how many rares that they drop. I think they end up dropping like 3 plus, which is just really nice to have there. But that's why we're doing Act 1, and now I want to talk about the next thing. Now the next thing is Magic Find. Why is it so important to get Magic Find? A lot of people have been skeptical about it and thinking it's not really not really worth it. I mean, those items are really expensive on the auction house, and you're thinking to yourself, Luke, you may have a demon hunter or you may have a high damaging character, and you might go, hey Luke, well I have 130,000 damage. I can just mow through mobs in Act 3 and Act 1 and Act 2 and all that stuff. Why should I use Magic Find gear instead of my damage gear? Because I do go through this really quickly. Well, I'm going to explain to you exactly how Magic Find works. A lot of people, they don't really know exactly how loot works and how Magic Find works and all that. It's a really confusing process, but it's not as random as people think. When you're a programmer, and I know a lot of people that have been programmers, especially in a game like this, especially when money is on the line for Blizzard, they're not going to leave everything to chance. There is chance involved, but there's an algorithm behind all the programming, and I'm going to explain that to you right now. Now, what happens when an item drops? Let's say you have no Magic Find whatsoever. When an item drops, let's say you kill a rare pack, and the rare pack typically will drop 3 blues plus. So it's going to drop at least 3 blues. One of those might be a rare, one of those might be 2 rares, stuff like that. Maybe you get 2 rares and 1 blue, or 1 rare and 2 blues, and stuff like that. That makes it seem random. Well, the way it works is there's family items in the game, I like to say. So pretty much if you have boots called Warlord boots, which are eye level 60 I believe, or 62, I think it's 60 though. Now those boots, they're a family called Warlord family, and you've seen other families too, like Warlord gloves and stuff like that, where it has that name Warlord. So let's say items drop and the game automatically goes, okay, we're going to give him Warlord, we're going to give him Archon, we're going to give him this. And then it goes through the percentages, and it rolls the dice pretty much and goes what eye level we're going to give him, like what quality we're going to give him. You might get a white, you might get a blue, you might get a rare, and as far as you can't get a Warlord legendary, but the highest you can get for Warlord is going to be a rare. But let's say it's also rolling to see if you're going to get a quality of legendary or set piece. Now where that comes from, that's where your magic find comes from. That part right there of this whole process. When you roll the dice, you have a percentage chance that you're going to get a certain quality item, not certain stats and not certain eye level. Talking about certain quality, going to be white, blue, yellow, legendary, set piece. Those are qualities. Now, when you go and say you're going to roll the dice and you have a 4% chance to get a rare, for that warlord to be not a blue, there's a 4% chance for that warlord item to be a rare. Okay, well, if it's 4% and you have no magic find, then it's 4%. You have a 4% chance to get the warlord item to be rare, and you may get it, you may not. Now I'm just throwing those numbers out there. I don't know the exact percentage, but I'm just giving you an example. Now, if you were to have magic find on, so you have 400% magic find, well, what that's going to do is multiply that percentage by 4. So now, instead of 4% chance, you have a 16% chance to get a rare, and then a higher increased chance to get a legendary, a higher increased chance for the higher up. So the more magic find you have, the chance for the quality of the item to be better. The game already determines what family it's going to come from, what eye level it's going to be, but then the magic find determines the quality of the item, what color it's going to be. That's why when you have a lot of magic find, you'll see in this video, I don't find as many blues as a normal person would. I find a lot of rares though. I don't find any legendaries in this episode, but you will see that I have done before where I've found a lot of legendaries. In the past couple weeks I've been building Magic Find and I've found about, I'd say, 11 legendaries and 3 set pieces so far. Just from having that increased chance. And why wouldn't you want that increased chance? That's what it's all about, right? You want to have that increased opportunity to get better items. But the reason why people stay away from it right now for Magic Find, because it can be very pricey. If you do what I did and I find all this stuff for good prices and find stuff along the way and just kind of build it slowly like I did, then it can be very profitable for you to actually farm in that gear. I also don't want you to get me wrong and think that I'm telling you that the item is going to be better. It doesn't mean that the item is going to be better. We've all seen our fair share of really bad rares, and that's just how it goes. In that case right there, the case where the stats, that is the only randomized thing pretty much about the game, is the stats randomizing. But if you have a level 63 item or a level 62 item, then your chances are higher to roll better stats because those can cap out or go perfect more than a lower level item would. Like, so let's say you find a level 55 item, where you're not going to find a level 55 item that gets 200 dexterity if we're talking about gloves or something like that, you know. But for I-63, you would. So that's pretty much what it's coming from. There's limitations on all the gear, and you're pretty much trying to roll perfect stats. Now, Magic Find is not going to increase that, but what Magic Find is going to do is going to give you better quality items, so your chances, you get more chances on actually rolling better stats. So in a way, it does, but in a very small way. So, for instance, if I were to farm without Magic Find gear and find 20 rares. Okay, well, I rolled those 20 rares and I got a couple good items, a couple good roll stats. But then if you use your Magic Find gear and you found 3 times the amount of rares, so now that means you have 3 times the amount of chance to roll better items. So in a way, it does actually increase your rolling chances and gives you more opportunities to get better items. And that's why Magic Find is good. And I'm really tired of a lot of people bashing Magic Find and thinking that it's not worth it, it's not good. If you can build up a decent amount of damage, as I'm proving to you in this video, and you can farm even Act 1, for instance here. This is Act 1. I'm getting some decent items, and at the very end of the video, you're going to see exactly how much gold I make, how many gold, I give you all the numbers and everything like that. And this is only 1 hour, guys, so 1 hour and you get to see at the very end of the video exactly what happened. I also want to talk about one more topic as well while you're watching all of this. And you might be saying to yourself, well, Luke, you know, why do I have to have really good Magic Find gear? Why can't I just wear Magic Find gear that's crap and has really good Magic Find on it, like 20% maxed out on each item? and then just switch it and item swap like a lot of people have been doing, like I've showed you in other videos before. Well, the problem is I want you guys to get into a good pattern and a good rhythm on actually just building up a good set that also has really good magic find, because I've been listening to some press releases and Blizzard has been talking over and over again that they're starting to get really frustrated that players are item swapping. Now, it's not something that you can get banned for. It's something that's kind of frowned upon right now. They're not really doing anything about it, and I will put a link down the bottom of this video where they actually want to see your feedback. They want to see what you think and what I think and what we all think should be done about item swapping. Should it stay the same? Should you be able to just item swap if you want to? Should there be limits? If you change gear, will you lose your Valor stacks? They're going to do something. And in my opinion, I feel like they're going to do, knowing Blizzard, they like to nerf stuff. So I feel like they're going to pretty much make it so that you can't item swap, because they have been having people using third-party programs which are macroing that for them instantly, and that's just not the way that they're intending the game to be. You know, when they nerf something, it's not because it's too powerful. Sometimes it is when it's too powerful, but that's not the way that they intended it to be. So pretty much they want you to be trying to build up a good set and going around, and that's the fun of it, is trying to build up a really good set, not just switching gear at the last second. You know, they want you to have a good balance. They want you all the time to be using gear that you've selected before you went to go farm, so that you know that you made the right choices along the way. And it makes you feel more accomplished that, wow, you know, I've built up this gear, I've built up this spec, and I made the right choices because I cleared through all of this really easily. I got some really good gear, and that's what Blizzard is intending for you guys to do. They want you to have the 5 Valor stacks. They want you to have the Magic Find gear. They want you to find better items, because you know what? The better the items that you guys find, the more money that Blizzard's going to make when you sell them on the auction house. So they want you to find really good items, which is why they're not banning people for item swapping. It's something that's been known about for the longest time. Well, that is it, guys. We are done with the hour-long session. See what we have just in these bags here. I just disenchanted, or salvaged, sorry, some of the blues. I ended up finding 37 blues total. Ended up getting 6 iridescent tears off of some of those blues. That's why I only collected the level 60 ones, so I could get the level 60 mats. For Inferno, I got 23 Tomes of Secrets. I did skip probably a bunch of them. Ended up with a little bit less mythic health potions than I started with, just because I took some damage. Let's see how many we got in. I ran out of room here, so I'm going to go ahead and count these real quick, and then so you don't hear me going 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll return back in just a sec. Alright, looks like there are 63 rares that we found total. Didn't find any legendaries this time around, but it is only 1 hour's worth of farming, and 63 rares pretty much means that I'm averaging at least 1 rare per minute, which I think is a really good average. Because you always want to be finding stuff, and if you're always finding stuff, that's great. I did get unlucky in a couple areas that normally I'd find more packs there, but it's okay though. It happens. It's just RNG, and there it is. So that's 36 rares right there. I'm gonna go ahead and ID all of these, and I'm gonna put a screen right at the end of this, giving you the totals of how much everything sold for, how many eye level 63 stuff I got, and yeah, and just all that. So, and let you know what kind of items I got and everything like that right at the end. So thanks for watching, guys, and make sure you tune in to the contest and do up the contest, and you have a chance to come on here and farm with me, and I'll be using my Magic Find gear and help you out, help you get some gear. And if you don't live in the US, then you can still win a Diablo 3 poster. You have the choice either or, if you want Diablo 3 poster or you want help with the farming. But until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and see you later. Alright, and there we are at the very end. I was going to put some music right here and just let you read all this. I want to do a little bit explaining on how everything turned out and all that good stuff. But on the far left there, you can see the items that sold. You see that I copy and pasted just straight from there. I did sell all that stuff overnight, and I'm shooting this part at the very end here the next day, and actually just showing you exactly what everything sold for. You know, a couple 100,000 here, and then you got a couple million here and there. I ended up getting When you look at down the bottom, I'll explain the type of items in just a second. And the vendor items was 60,000 gold. I didn't really put the repair costs in there because I pretty much factored that repair cost versus how much gold I found just off the ground. It's about the same. And I had 37 of the exquisite essence, and then I had 23 tomes of secrets, which have actually come up in price. 1,000 gold, pretty nice. Making some gold off of that for a grand total of 5,309,714 gold. Pretty decent for 1 hour's worth of work, and just having a lot of magic fine gear. Pretty much that gold right there that I just made from that paid for my magic fine gear that I spent on pretty much upgrading all that in just 1 hour, in the very first hour. And I've already found some legendaries with that magic fine gear. Let's look on the right there, just how many. There's all the numbers right here. I'm a numbers guy, so I like to track everything that I do to see if it's actually worth my time. And we killed 2 bosses. We killed 23 rare packs. Here is the with 3 goblins, 2 chests. Usually find 3 to 5 goblins when I go through, and 63 rares, 37 blues. As you can see, there's 37 exquisite essence. For the eye levels, we had 3 63s. Which the 263s there are the 2 millions that you saw there, the 2 million ones. That's 2 of those. I rolled some pretty good stats on those. Eye level 62, 13 of them. 61, 11 of those. And eye level 60, 10 of those. And then below that is 26. And I pretty much just vendor that stuff. I don't really sell anything on the auction house that's lower than eye level 60. Usually doesn't roll good enough stats unless it's a legendary or something like that. But then you also have your 37 out of 63 items total, which was items rares total, were actually eye level 60 or above, which is pretty good out of the whole thing. I know this is a really long video, and I'm going to put some skip down things down below to help you guys out and skip ahead and everything like that, so you don't have to get stuck on one part or anything like that if you're here for separate reasons and all that. But that's the end of the farm, guys, and 5.3 million gold, not too bad. Made all the gold back that I pretty much spent. And thanks for watching. I hope this helped you out. And in my opinion, if you take anything from this video, magic find is very important, and it's gonna really give you that extra push to find better items. If you'd only farm 1 hour per day, having 400% magic find is like you're farming for 4 hours. So it does make a huge difference, and this video proved it. 63 rares in just 1 hour. Do it without magic find. You tell me how many you find in 1 hour, and I bet it's not near 63. Alright, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.